San Antonio, welcome. It's Mighty Iris here in the studio yet again, joined by someone very special. You may very well also know him as TAXIPLASM. He's a filmmaker, an artist, a producer, entrepreneur, philanthropist. He's an educator from Stanford to Princeton to Berkeley, from Soho to Damned If I Know. His award-winning work has been shown at many film festivals, and he's honestly one of the most, if not the most, unique people I've ever known. I'm still not even sure he's from this planet. I've always felt he was much more evolved than the rest of us growing up. He's always looked at the world through a different lens. And as far back as I can remember, he's always been this big, vibrant, colorful, loud phenomenon, unapologetically himself. He's my Trent Reznor-loving, Stanley Kubrick, David Lynch-obsessed, fashion-forward movie buddy that never fails to impress me. I'm so proud of everything he's done and continues to do. He's the Christian Stovitz to my Cher Horowitz.
Dollface.
Handsome.
Stunning.
Ladies and genitals, Brian Gonzalez is in the studio.
Thank you, Iris, for having me. That's quite an extraordinary introduction. So
Thank you. Thank you. I know.
By the way, you are correct. I am not from this planet. So thank you for reminding everybody.
I knew it.
I'm waiting for the mothership to come home.
I knew
she'll
it.
come get me when she's ready.
Since we were kids, man, we were Elrod Eagles together.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah.
Elrod Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you remember the school song?
I am an Elrod Eagle and I'm proud. Yes, I'm an Elrod Eagle and I'm proud.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
See, and I almost downloaded the lyrics and I was like, no. Okay, well, that's good. Do you still have any of the t-shirts?
I don't think so.
I wish I had held on to those.
I go running by
Do you?
Elrod often, though, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's right by my house still.
Oh, it's still
my
standing?
family's house. Yeah, it is still standing.
Oh, that's good.
That playground looks creepy at night, but really,
Does it?
with a nice, heavy top lighting, it's kind of intense.
Ooh, okay. So, and you were born and raised here in San Antonio.
That's correct.
Correct?
That's
yes.
correct.
And I always knew you were going to do such big things. I'm just so proud of you. We're here for a very special reason.
Uh-huh.
Let's kind of take everyone back to July 4th, 2025. In Kerr County, there was a horrific, massive flood along the Guadalupe River. This is just like a real-life nightmare to me because the water rose 26 feet in 45 minutes is what still terrifies me. And this all happened while people were sleeping in their beds. 4 a.m. in the morning, houses were uprooted, going down with the river. Some people barely escaped their homes. The flood killed over 100 people, including over 25 girls at Camp Mystic. And you brought San Antonio, the community, together to work on an art project to commemorate the lives lost in the flood. It's called The Bearer of Dangerous Truths. How and when did this idea first spark in your head?
Yeah, well, it's exactly just as you described. I think a lot of us here in South Texas were, and even currently in this moment, are still mortified. It's happening now as we're recording this. There's more flooding that's going on around the same time. Looking at all those photos of when the water recedes and those abandoned backpacks, teddy bears, trunks, beds, all of these traces of these young children's lives that were left behind and just caked in the dirt. I don't think anybody looks at those images and they don't think about what it must have been like and wanting to hold their family closer, wanting to hold everyone they love closer. And I think a lot gets kind of revealed during something like that, right? Of what we care about, of all these other, again, as the title indicates, these kind of dangerous truths, not just about our world or existentially or life and death, but even our own government, who voted multiple times to not fund the alarm system that could have saved those lives. So there's a lot to be reckoned with a tragedy like this. And so I think a lot of us were reflecting on that in those images, especially, again, at Camp Mystic and these dormitories of all these lost belongings. These things were really, these images were staying with me.
Yeah.
And I finally was able to put together a collection of resources that I had. I myself am an alumni of SaySí, San Antonio Youth Yes.
Yeah.
It's an after-school nonprofit arts organization. And when I was there, that's when I really kind of started my own career or life as an artist. And I was making all sorts of film and installation pieces. And because of that, I was able to get into college. So the organization is very special to me. They've had this large-scale warehouse space since the eve of the pandemic at the end of 2019.
Ooh.
They had a lot of vendors that were promised to them in that space that, of course, all left once the pandemic happened. So these spaces have just been sitting vacant for a while. And I'm like, as an artist, this is just a miraculous canvas that I want to work at this scale, at a fully immersive scale. It's light, it's sound, it's live performance, it's installation, it's sculpture, and it all has a story with it. And so looking at these resources that we had, and thinking about those objects from those children. So I asked SaySí to not only use their space to create kind of this large sculpture that I wanted to do, but also beginning with these miniature sculptures that the students themselves are making, ceramics, of backpacks, teddy bears, lunchboxes, these different items that are now suspended in this massive tidal wave sculpture. I also look around San Antonio and I see so many discarded wooden pallets that are stacked up everywhere. And as an artist, I'm like, that's such great raw material. Why is this just being thrown away? Can I just collect this?
That's what I'm saying. You look through the world with a different lens.
So I was just like, I'm going to keep this for years. I'm like, I'm keeping this at the back of my head. And so over just the past several months, I've collected about 400 wooden pallets. And along with the students at UTSA and their architecture and planning department, I shared with them this project of creating this massive tidal wave kind of sculpture out of reclaimed wood. And they came on board, and I've been volunteering to build it every day. One of my best friends from college that I graduated with, he has a degree in sculpture. His name is Stephen Vega, and his company, New Guild Design, spent their own time, donated their own time generously to design the infrastructure to actually simulate this large sculpture. From there, we're going to be projecting mapping onto it with these kinds of thrashing water images. And so we'll see these miniature like jewels suspended of, again, all these children's items that are there. And for me, not only the massive sculpture in this kind of dramatic light in this space made by the hands of other youth, of other children.
Yeah.
I'm also inviting the Children's Chorus of San Antonio to do a live vocal requiem in the space. And the Composers Alliance of San Antonio have also been generous enough to write an original score for the piece. So all of these different parts of San Antonio coming together to create this commemoration, this space of shared grief, and also, I think, hope, because look what we can build in response to something so tragic. Look how we can actually put all of our efforts together towards making something from our own hearts. And I think art making does do that for people. You know, it's not just about the product itself that we make, it's also the making of it. The making of it together becomes a very, very powerful thing. I've been so overwhelmed with miraculous like surprises. I've been so overwhelmed because so much of San Antonio has been so generous at this point. We've gotten so many in-kind donations for our electricity, for AC. This is a raw warehouse space.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing in it. It was just a box. But it's like there's a lot of potential here. And especially for an artist, it's like, oh no, a lot can happen here. And I want that space to be somewhere for San Antonio, for a lot of not just Texas artists, San Antonio artists, but international artists could come here, be doing work with these students of SaySí, which are media arts students, visual arts students, theater students, all of this raw talent that we can collectively utilize to create something even bigger, right? And I'm like, that could be something that I don't see anywhere in the world doing. And it's a nonprofit already, right? So it's already in from the city. And so I feel like this could be something that could be really special for San Antonio, and where the future of it is. As of right now, we're only able to do it for one weekend because of how generous everyone is being. But hopefully, as we film this, then we'll be able to garner enough support to be able to have it as a public exhibition next year.
This is all being filmed as a documentary. Everyone working on the project, it's all being filmed.
Yeah, we're documenting really kind of the whole process, because I think to me, like I said, what's been so inspiring, just watching everybody else build bonds with each other and create from their space. I'm not over directing anybody. Everybody's having their own hands on it, putting their own expression into it. And I'm just sort of leading the team and giving them everything they need to hopefully make their best work, as they too, also as Texas residents, reflect on this tragedy for themselves. Like each of those kids, they're not painting a backpack from someone at Camp Mystic. They're painting their own backpack, but understanding themselves in that space. They understand, what if it happened to me?
Yeah.
And that's how we're coming to it. We're all reflecting in these different ways, just as any artist would, I think.
How often are people working on this? Is it like 24 hours, or is it during a certain...
We've got 4 to 5 days a week that for about 6 hours at a time that volunteers from UTSA is coming to work on it. But there's also other artists, Ashley Perez, who's also a SaySí alum. She's painting the title. I've got Sergio Ramos, who's like heading our documentary department of the whole thing. Because again,
shout out to Sergio.
Shout out to Sergio. And because for me, I think there's something so powerful about watching this many people who didn't need permission from anybody, from any larger institution or any government or any grant, where you have to write a whole petition and wait for people who never meet you to approve you.
Yeah.
And all this other red tape exists because of money. No one wants to take a risk anymore, certainly not toward art making in this country, when arts funding is being cut all over the place. People start to not see the value of it. And the value of it has less to do with the thing itself and more to do with the community making it together.
Yeah.
And so I think there's something really powerful watching that. So I'm happy that we're documenting all of that. And then on the 25th, we're going to have 2 performances. One will be at 6 for Kerr County residents specifically. And then there'll be a public one for San Antonio at 7:30. Doors are at 7, so you can kind of take time with the sculpture.
So how do you know that people from Kerr County know about this?
So I went to Kerr County and I went to several of the community centers and different visitor centers and even in their artist centers as well. And I just in person introduced myself and showed them the piece and was like, we're making this. It's really for you. We don't need anything. I'm just asking for your attendance. It's free. It's just come.
Yeah.
Let us share this with you. All the money that we've raised at this point, which is not much, is really just going to having a generator truck and fueling it and feeding everybody, things like this. So ideally, when this is a public exhibition, all the money will then, any actual funds raised would be able to go to rebuild Kerr County.
You've thought of all this on your own, though. You've knocked on all these doors to get all these sponsors, and you're running the show, all of this. Yeah. I don't know how you're doing that. It's like you're an octopus. You have all these...
Well, to me, it's like making a movie. It's making a film. I went to film school. So when I think about all the parts that it takes to make a film, you're thinking about lighting, wardrobe. The children's chorus themselves, they're going to be wearing their pajamas.
Whose idea was that?
Mine. Of course.
They were all like, God, that breaks my heart, man. So I'm going to cry. Yeah. That's going to be so emotional.
I'm looking at the story. Think of it all like a film, right? The wardrobe, what are they wearing? How is that telling me the story? How do they move in the space? And me, myself, as an audience member, when I'm in it, how my vision is like when I walk in, this is the opening wide shot of the piece. My eyes, as I walk through, are like a camera moving inside the installation space.
Yeah.
And so I have the wide shot, and then I push all the way into this close-up now of this tiny backpack. And then I come all the way back, and I see now the mass wave. And then I pan left, and I see the title, which I walk toward. And then I pan right, and then I see the hornist playing way above me. And then I pan left and move forward, and look, there's a cellist over there. And then I turn, and there's another miniature object suspended from another part of this wave. So all of the different areas that I think an audience member can traverse in the space, to me, it's like I'm making a film.
Yeah.
So because of that, that's how I produce this event.
Okay.
And really, everyone that attends, since we're going to be filming it and documenting it, they're basically extras in my movie. And so I'm like, if I just produce it like a film, then I know how to check off these boxes of everything from insurance to electricity to lighting to cameras to how many of each of these to rehearsals to, getting old HVAC ductwork removed because it's just an eyesore in my sightline as an audience member. And so thinking of just all these different points of where I think the maximum experience can be. I'm in New York a lot, and when I teach there and I go to these different experiences that are in Red Hook, which is a 20-minute walk from any train, and yet people still will go and show out the same way at the Brooklyn Navy Yard and still show up because they want to see something big and they want to feel like you had to be in the room to see that. And I think that kind of excitement is something that I don't see enough in San Antonio. So I want to be able to offer that and build that.
Yeah.
And I don't have any money, but I have a vision that's busting out of me. And so I just want to corral all the resources I can to make it happen.
Your passion and vision has always superseded your wallet. It doesn't matter how much anything costs. And I remember that since we were in high school, you got by not spending a dime. Do you remember this? Do you remember how you were in high school? You didn't spend money on anything. And I'm like, he must have tons of money at home. Do you remember this?
No, but I feel like I've been doing that my whole life.
I know. And I was like, and I only imagine that's how you were able to afford like film school. I was like, He didn't eat lunch for all 4 years of high school. You've always been so good at that, and it amazes me. And for you, putting all this, this is all you don't seem stressed at all. Is it not stressful?
It absolutely can be stressful. At the same time, it's a big exercise in trust in the team and trust in people. It's a big exercise in letting go of control. It's a big exercise in really also trusting not just the abilities from people, but also their hearts. Reminding them why we're doing it. Yeah. And I think everyone already has signed up having a very clear idea of their why, of why they're coming into this. And I think if we can keep working from that space, and I can at least just be the person who's activating that space as much as possible, then I can just trust them that they're going to do their best work. Yeah. And so because I've had also years of teaching storytelling and filmmaking and live experience design, that I am in the practice of communicating often. And again, I think just as a filmmaker or as a director, we have to communicate constantly with everything, a variety of ways in order to still give space to whomever that we're working with for themselves to express themselves. Yeah. And like, how do we like gauge that window to where it does really become collaborative? But because I'm delegating that, and because I have a really amazing team and collaborators, I trust them. So that way I can think about other things one beat at a time and keep at least replaying the piece in my head. That's what really it is. I have to keep kind of replaying the piece in my head as I'm seeing it. And then on the day, it's very easy to direct it because it's like, oh, I've actually played it in my head so many times now that I just see it. I mean, and even with this design, it's wonderful seeing it come to life of this massive sculpture. And yet at the same time, I'm like, oh no, I've already seen this. I've seen it so many times in my head that it's really just a relief that, oh, look, the reality caught up to my imagination.
Is it always what you imagined, or is it sometimes better or a little bit, that wasn't I dreamed it.
When I have a team, it's always better than I imagined. If I have to do, or I feel obliged to do too much on my own, it's never as good, not even close. If I feel like I'm not a micromanager, and I feel like if I'm in a position where I even think that I can do it all on my own, then I'm actually in big trouble as a human.
That's a great quality, to not micromanage.
Because I work so much with students, it's being really conscious of like, okay, how do I make sure not to tell them what to do so much as make suggestions or offerings. And also find, like, in each person, it's like getting to know, again, like I said, kind of getting to know their why, getting to know their value system, getting to know why they're here, what moves them about the work, and then keep kind of tapping into that more and more and more. There's times where other collaborators are like, Ashley was like, I'm thinking for paint and colors, is it, well, what do you want for the palette? I'm like, well, what do you think it should be? She's like, I'm thinking it's blues and greens and purples. I'm like, then that's what it should be.
Ooh, that's so nice. Yeah.
Like, you're already thinking about it more than I am. That's why I delegated it to you.
Yeah.
And so it's great. I want people to show up to it in that way. I want them to express themselves in it.
What I love about Texas and really the world is how we respond to dark times. We like come together. I kind of think of it as, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, how the Who's from Whoville all come out. And even though he tried to ruin their Christmas, they all come out and they sing anyway. That's how I feel when I see like how we respond to tragedy sometimes. And is that corny?
No, not at all. I mean, I think this is the whole point of like looking at tragedy and what's the first impulse? Make art, build something, get your community together, build something. I think just being that tactile, which is already the opposite direction of everything AI and screen inducing, that already is rectifying our humanity. It's reviving our humanity. It's reviving our spirit. We are more human when we work with other humans making human-made art.
Yeah.
And so I think that already is powerful and necessary. It's like when I think about the monks in Tibet, they will make their sand mandalas and they're like rubbing just these tiny little pieces of sand, making this giant epic mandala, right? It's like the size of this whole table here. It's this massive piece and everyone's kind of huddling around it. They spend days making it, this beautiful design. They pray to it. And then, boom, you just watch it all go away.
Oh, man.
Right? And it reminds me, though, it's like, because again, I mean, they're monks, so obviously part of their own ethos is about the ephemeral nature of everything, the transient nature of everything. Everything is only for now and then goes away, right? So although there's that, but at the same time, it reminds me as a creator, as an artist, that the point was never the final product. The point was that energy that they are all sharing, quietly imagining the same thing at the same time, is the magic, is the God factor, is where God is in the room. And I think that I've just been trying to get closer to that feeling for a really long time.
Yeah.
where it feels like there's the godlike situation. I took a class in Brooklyn with the Brooklyn Institute for Social Research.
Oh.
And there was a class called Beauty and Terror. And it was about the sublime. And there's a whole school of philosophers and art that goes toward this notion that something that is truly sublime, truly miraculous, truly godlike is just as beautiful as it is absolutely terrifying, as it is absolutely annihilating. And there's this tension, holy tension that's with that is a feeling, for whatever reason, my spirit is connected to for a very long time. And so I get very emotional and overwhelmed with it, to where I'm like, whatever this thing is that's making me cry for reasons I don't know, I just know I have to make work that gets me closer to that feeling.
Yeah.
It's a very strange thing. Like I tell students all the time too, I'm like, you should just be making the work that makes you cry.
Yeah. The day of the event, it's next Saturday,
Yes.
the 25th.
Yes.
What can people do? Can people still contribute up until that day?
Oh, yeah.
And
of
how
course.
can they do that?
Yeah. We have, there's links.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know
All
where
on
those are posted.
your social media?
So I have links on social media, of course, to our Eventbrite where you can RSVP. Admission is free. And then, of course, a space where you can make a tax-deductible donation if you like.
Yeah.
And like I said, up until the day, we'll be accepting donations for the piece itself. And, again, when this becomes a public exhibition, ideally, then all those proceeds will go to Kerr County.
The sculpture, will it stay up after the event?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to move it.
Okay, good. I was wondering about that.
It's so massive that nobody's going to move that thing. Yeah. And nobody's in there. That's the thing. These spaces were vacant before. So
they don't use it for filmmaking or anything?
some people use it to, probably do some sort of Reservoir Dogs style knockoff in that warehouse space. But at this point, no, it's not frequent enough for that to happen.
So doors open at 7. How long is the event?
So the program itself, in terms of the performance, is only about half an hour.
Okay.
Honestly. It's relatively short. But there's also time before and after to be with the sculpture inside the installation and explore the space. There'll still be sound. It'll still be active.
Oh, that's
just
so
not
cool.
necessarily with the live performance, where we're having the children's choir, a hornist, and a cellist that will be present.
Do we know what the children's choir is singing? Or is that like a surprise?
So the children's choir is singing all original pieces. All the music is original.
Okay, so you told them about this. How far in advance for them to even create this?
Probably in January.
Oh my God.
Is when I started just getting insurance and things like this for it.
Wow.
And getting, my design team had already made a plan for how to build this at that point. It was like November, December that I first started making all of the renderings for it and the designs with it. I made the designs with my friend Raul, who's also my tattoo artist.
Oh.
And he just has a really good hand. And so we spent a couple, 2-3 hours on a hand drawing that was like, oh, wow, you're really getting toward the shape that I'm thinking of. And then we brought it into a 3D rendering system and tweaked the lighting a bit. And it was like, oh, look, here we are. And then I could start pitching it to people. Because then it's like, oh, look, now people could see what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Right? So that was already a huge step. And now that I think that as we're going to make it, people, again, will be more likely to pay for a thing that's already been done rather than a concept of a thing. But in January is when I reached out to the Children's Chorus of San Antonio. I knew for a while that I wanted to have a children's chorus.
Yeah.
Also because all my favorite songs end up getting turned into children's chorus for renditions. There's all those Nine Inch Nails or Soundgarden songs that are with a
for
children's
movie trailers
chorus.
and
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly.
Yeah.
There's the Nine Inch Nails Piggy. There's the Black Hole Sun version with a children's choir. I'm like, these are amazing. And I'm suddenly like, I thought I knew the song and I've never heard this song before.
Yeah.
And now I know it because I heard it through a children's choir, and it's so emotional in this other way. And so I really wanted to use that. And in this space that's quite cavernous as a raw warehouse space, the reverb in that area is like a cathedral. So hearing that resonate, I'm like, yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, we got to get a children's choir in here. That'll make the piece literally and metaphorically sing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And then from there, Carolyn and Lindsay from the Children's Chorus of San Antonio were kind enough to introduce me to Kevin Salfin, who is the head of CASA, the Composers Alliance of San Antonio.
Oh, yes.
And I met with him and we talked. And so he was the one who kind of was able to corral a lot of other composers to come on board based on me speaking with him and having an in-depth conversation around everything. But we also talked about different verbiage for the children themselves. And something I was originally attracted to was there's a composer named David Lang, and he has a piece called Just. And the vocalists are singing, just your mouth just your tulips. And it's like a 13-minute piece and very sparse in the music, but you can hear this gorgeous echo. David Lang was taking all of the nouns from the Bible in Song of Solomon, and that's where the just comes in. It's just, and then all those nouns are all the way down. And I was thinking, I want to do something like this where we're just taking these fragments of the Bible, but I was looking at the Great Flood. And so in the book of Genesis. And so there are certain words out of there that we kind of pluck in this relatively abstract, rhythmic way. And so that becomes part of the vocals that the children are singing. And so we just have traces of that. Again, it's nothing that I want to be like heavy-handed about. It's all of what I keep wanting to show is impressions of something. It's not the thing itself. Part of also what led me toward thinking about this piece as an artist is I saw an illustration from artist Robert Longo that was all these charcoal drawings of these wedding dresses that were beautifully preserved inside of this shattered, bullet-written encasing. And the image came from a newspaper clipping that he saw of a Ukrainian bridal shop moments after it was first invaded by Russian forces, within like the first 48 hours of Russian forces invading Ukraine several years ago. And just that story and looking at the piece and seeing and almost hearing it playing out like a movie of this wedding gowns all being shot at, but somehow miraculously preserved. And it made me then start to think about the children's objects preserved, and yet their lives are gone.
Yeah.
And so that juxtaposition, that existential question mark, is sort of what got me toward tears in this way. I was replaying all of those events again in my mind just by those things. So that effect really resonated with me, and I wanted to create something that was about the thing without being about the thing.
Okay.
Which is to say, it shows all these images that are impressions of, I think, what we know, but it's not trying to say something about it. It's not trying to convince you of anything. It's not trying to change anything. It's just a reflection, and that's it. And it doesn't name anybody. It doesn't name any place specifically even. We're doing it in San Antonio and in this month because we're thinking of Kerr County.
Yeah.
But, other people even look at it that are participating in the project and they're like, I'm from Houston. I look at this and I think about Harvey hitting Houston several years ago. And, other people that are of like our generation are like, oh yeah, I remember when I was a kid in 1988, all of San Antonio flooded, right? And there's also a story of the Great Flood of 1921 in San Antonio. So there's these history of floods that come in and out that, again, I think we all have our own relationship with. So I feel like just offering these impressions. In my class, we call them narrative signifiers of like, what are the things I look at it and it signifies a whole story and you didn't have to tell me anything.
Yeah.
So like the pajamas, to me, that signifies so much.
Yeah.
Just because I put them in their pajamas. And I don't got to tell you anything else. And so I'm always, as an artist, looking for like minimum alteration, maximum transformation. What's the one thing I can change that changes everything else?
The fear is what went in my head first. When you said that, I was like, it hit really hard. So what does this next week look like for you? Like what? I'm curious. You're just tightening everything up?
We load in our portable air conditioning unit that's been generously donated from Sunbelt. We get a big generator truck coming in. We have our lights coming in.
Has the weather affected the wood?
No, because it's wood.
Okay, good.
I didn't know wood comes from trees, which are outside.
I've heard that, yeah. I forgot.
No, it hasn't. It's not rotted away or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
Thankfully, no. A lot of the lumber we got was pretty fresh, actually, and donated. And even if there is a bit of leakage in that space because we have a roofer coming to patch it up, again, it's a raw warehouse space, so it's like we got to have a few like fix-its around to make it presentable, even for the private invite-only audience. And so we've got roofers coming in, we've got the electric people coming in. There will be rehearsals for our children's chorus and musicians
the rehearsals
that are also going to be happening as well. I've got to bring in a floor cleaner. I'm the one usually cleaning the floor. I'm like sweeping up after everybody. And now I got to get one of those ride-on that you see somebody like Good Will Hunting style, like with the the floor cleaner in there. So I got to go in there with that probably as we get closer to the date as well. And then we bring our projectors in. There's trusses that they're going to be on. There are these Epson was amazing enough to donate us these 4 16K projectors that are beasts.
Way to go.
That'll be on these 15-foot trusses. And so those will be cross-projecting onto the sculpture, the
Can't wait
image
to see
itself.
that. Yeah.
So those will have to get loaded in. I'm actually flying in two people, one of whom is a SaySí alum as well.
Okay.
My friend Carlos Medina, who does all these projection bombs with a group in Los Angeles that are all anti-Trump and anti-ICE.
You're flying people in with no budget? This is nuts to me, dude.
I know.
Do you have a friend at the airlines?
I do not. I know. The thing
You could
is,
tell me.
I'm also flying in one more person as well. One of my former students named Cam, because they took all the classes at Berklee College of Music in their master's program, which is also where I teach, but I teach storytelling and narrative. All the other classes are highly technical. And so they took all those classes to be able to do exactly projection mapping and mapping these variety of visuals using Touch Designer and Resolume and QLab and all these variety of programs. I don't know how to use any of those things.
Yeah.
So I'm flying them in so I can make sure it's done well. But again, I'm not just trusting these people's skills. I'm more trusting their hearts. I'm more trusting that they're just going to do the absolute best because they care, because they see part of themselves in it, or they have a space to express themselves in it. I mean, to me, it's beautiful watching some of the UTSA students, watching all of them really basically become sculptors in front of my very eyes.
Yeah.
Like, and they themselves realizing like, oh my gosh, I'm a sculptor now. Like, oh wait, I am an artist. Oh, wait a minute. I can choose how the variety of these other pieces that are articulating this very strange shape that has, to our knowledge, never been made before. No one's made this. We have to invent what the blueprints are, right?
Yeah.
And what that looks like, and give ourselves space to fail and revise and problem solve. And so just watching, I think, students especially find themselves as artists also in this process, I think is really, really moving to me.
Where did you store all this wood that you've been collecting?
At SaySí.
At SaySí,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, again, because these spaces are just vacant. So I'm like, well, I'm going to bring in 400 pallets
Jeez.
and we're going to pull them apart here.
Shout out
And
to SaySí.
Yeah. No, they were very generous with the space.
Oh, that's great.
But I think they also they know now. I think that it's being built. It's like, oh, this is really good for SaySí, for this community, for San Antonio, for Texas. I feel like there's so many people that I know that are artists that for this decade now that we've had, what's his name in the Zeitgeist in The Office?
Yeah.
I think because we've all been so inundated with this oppressive nature that wants to push down our expression, push down our voices, everywhere is telling us AI is going to replace us. Everyone is saying like the worst degrees you can get have anything to do with art. When really creative thinking and imagination is the most dangerous and valuable thing we have.
I'm afraid of losing that.
And so that's why I think by doing this and showing that, oh, look, we can still be those people that puts our imagination and hearts first.
Yes.
And we don't have to actually be enslaved by the capitalist system that is convincing us that our voice doesn't matter. Here it is. We're doing it. And we don't need your permission. We don't need your approval. We're making it because it matters to us. And that's already, I think, reason enough to make anything.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Fuck yeah. So I feel the real reason you wanted to come in here today is you want me to narrate the documentary with my voice. Is that it? Is that, you could tell me.
It did cross my mind.
With the Linda Richmond voice. I could do it. Yeah.
You're watching the children's choir and the VO. She's like, I'm getting verklempt.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Talk amongst yourselves. Yes.
So our event is Saturday, July 25th. We have 2 showings, one at 6 p.m. for Kerr County residents, and then our doors open at 7 p.m. for all the San Antonio public, and the show starts at 7:30. But there will be time before and after to be with the sculpture and the space and each other, and hopefully you'll leave holding each other a little more closely.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Brian Gonzalez.
Thank you,
I look
Iris.
forward to this.
Oh, yes, you'll be there.
Oh, yeah, I will. What do I wear?
Bring everybody.
I will.